Oh, good morning. It's about 7 a.m. I'm More and I preparing to go into town. Why is this sideways? I don't know. I am proud of myself for being so fucking adaptable. It started raining last night, so I repurposed this tarp and made myself a little shelter out of sticks. I am so smitten with myself because I wasn't expecting it to rain. I don't have internet out here, so I can't check the forecast. Look at this stick. Wait, can you see it? It's like pretty bent. Yeah, so I had to act super quickly and I had to get creative. And I feel like that's what this trip is all about. It's like getting creative and acting quick on my feet, navigating the unknown, and adapting. And I'm just like, fuck, I didn't imagine this setup. Because actually, when I was staying in Bolinas for about a week and a half, the clouds would come in every morning and every night. So it was basically just really foggy at the beginning and the end of the day. So my tent was wet every day. And I learned with experience that just putting this tarp over the top without, like just laying it there with no strings or anything, when the tarp is touching the tent, then it's still getting wet. It's not actually helping it. So, yeah, I just tried out this little shelter with the sticks. It's definitely not perfect, but I'm like, you know what? I did what I could with what I had, and I'm satisfied. And we stayed dry. So, ha! It's a good feeling. Yeah, we're getting ready to go into town, and I'm feeling a little anxious. Like I don't know how to prepare, because right now it feels chilly, but I know when I'm biking, I'm gonna get sweaty. Oh, the hills are gnarly. It is steep. So it's just like I gotta get super focused and I gotta get in the zone. And I'm gonna try to pull on more as long as I can in the trailer. We'll see. We'll see. I don't want her to get stressed out. That's the thing. I want it to be an easeful trip because we're not in survival mode. We're, out here planted and we don't have any time crunch. The only thing is avoiding the peak hours of the sun. Definitely want to avoid that. But we're way ahead of the sun, so we're okay. But I don't know if it's gonna rain later. It's hard to tell. The sky is like really cloudy, but I've been learning that I guess it's just cloudy in the mornings here. And then usually around noon or 11 it'll like clear up. Sometimes it's really sunny, sometimes it's like sunny with some clouds, but I'm wondering if we're gonna take a little swim in the lake that's really close to town. That would be cool. Because if I'm avoiding biking during the peak hours, like basically like 11 a.m. to like 5 p.m., then yeah, we're gonna be stuck in town for a while and like definitely have some computer stuff I want to do with Wi-Fi that I will use at the Safeway. But it would be nice to take a little break and like go swim for a couple hours, especially if more is allowed in there. That would be amazing. I'm unsure because it's not a campground. It's just like a park, like for daytime hangouts. Oh yeah, look at that stick. Oh my goodness. Wow, what a stick. We've been playing with the sticks this morning. Aw, I love seeing Amor getting back into her morning flow. When we were living in Oakland, we would start every morning off with a walk. And if it was raining or something, and if I couldn't take her to walk, we would substitute it with some playtime. But generally, like, there's an association of like, we start the mornings off with playtime. Because when we go on walks too, we play fetch and stuff. So once we get to the park. So it's cool to see her like feeling safe and relaxed. I knew she would acclimate to the sound of gunshots in the background with time, and I'm finding myself acclimating to it with time too. So I'm just like amazed at the tolerance we're building and really expanding our comfort zone out here. Aw. I didn't get to fully charge my bike battery, but it is at least 75% charged. It's hard for me to tell. I only have these like vague intervals of like 25, 50, 75, 100. So it's somewhere above 75, but it's not finished charging completely. So that has me a little on edge. But at the very least, I learned what the problem was with my solar panels. And it is my fault. It was a rookie mistake, but I don't regret it. Yeah, so the other day, the last time we went into town and we didn't have to bring all the things, I had the space on my bike to where I could like display the solar panels on the back of my bike and have them charge as I was riding. That was cool. That was a first. It was an experiment. I was really proud of myself. It was fun. I was like, wow, look what I can do. But evidently it has caused problems now with recharging because the cord was super bent when I like put it into the solar panel. I don't even want to talk about it. I'll just show you. So I'm going to talk more about this later in the video too, but as you can see here, I have the solar panels in the sun. And if you look at the cord, it's leading from the solar panels into the Jackery. But the thing is, these are not Jackery solar panels, so there's an adapter piece, and it's this adapter piece that has been bent and needs to be really forcefully pushed into the connector piece. And so in this case, I'm trying to use my bike battery to hold the pressure, but it's not working. And that's the thing. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. That's what makes it stressful. Amor and I are on our way back from town. We got our propane tanks. I didn't even need to get ahead of myself because they sold them there. So anxiety really does a thing. Yeah, and I went to the auto shop and they didn't have the part I needed, but my solar panels are working as long as I like hold the cord very tightly in place. Ay. Which is hard to do when it's so sunny. You gotta use them in the sun. So just to sit there for hours in the sun holding a tight grip on the cord puts me in a state of panic for sure. It's not ideal. So yeah, I tried to do some research up at the Safeway, but for the first time, I got not only was a boundary set with me, but I was yelled at. Like it was just rude. Like they could have communicated in a different way, but I'm not taking it personally. I imagine they were having a hard day. So I wanted to spend more time in the Safeway doing some research about what is the battery that I will need, because all that stuff is super foreign to me. That stuff about energy volts, and yeah, I got to do a lot of research. So I charged up all my stuff. I got my groceries, got what I needed. I left way earlier than I thought I would because I was trying to miss the peak sun hours, but it's kind of overcast today, so it's kind of nice out. I don't even mind it. I'm more as bored. I feel so bad. Aw, like when daddy is stressed, then we don't have so much fun. But it's hard because like we are a team, but she can't help me problem solve these human things, you know? Like, hey, Amor, which battery do I need to get to replace this? She doesn't understand it. She's just like, why aren't we playing? Sucks. I'm really missing my chosen family right now. I'm really grateful to have Amor with me and that I'm not alone. But I'm just missing my partner. I'm missing my beloveds. I'm missing snuggles. What do you think, Amor? Are you gonna snuggle me tonight? You wanna snuggle me? Little cutie. Yeah, I've broken down and cried, like pretty heavily cried 2 times today. Yeah, I'm finally at that point in the trip where it's all catching up to me. I feel like I'm hitting a breaking point. I'm just reminding myself that I'm safe in this moment. I have what I need. But I'm just exhausted. I'm tired of problem solving, and I'm concerned about our safety. Like this pin right here, for example, it just fell out the bottom. Like there was a piece of metal that was holding it in and it just fucking fell out. So that safety is not so safe after all. Like gratitude, this bolt is still there, but I'm gonna need to try to move this all over one. Maybe that's why that extra hole is here. I tried to do it in the parking lot at the auto shop, but I had no luck. It's clear to me I'm gonna need more time, and it was sunny and hot there, so I said, you know what, we'll make it home. Whoa, I stood up too quickly. I will tinker again when I get back, but like if you've read my first blog post with the first video diaries of this trip, you know that it is super out of my comfort zone to fix things like material things. It's a very gendered thing, and it's really emotional for me, and it's hard. Yeah, so it's just one of those things that feels exhausting. Like I probably could figure it out. Yeah, I probably could. But yeah, it's just makes me want to break down and cry. All the little things really add up. Yeah, so I'm really future tripping today, in this place of anxiety, just feeling stuck, like I can't even attempt to go to Tahoe before I feel more secure and more resourced. I'm feeling under-resourced with the battery, that is not charging my bike battery consistently. My external battery is not charging my bike battery consistently because it's too weak. It's not big enough. It needs to be bigger, more powerful. So that needs to be upgraded, and the other upgrade, of course, is access to internet, which I thought I had nailed. I thought I nailed it before the trip, but then, you experiment, and then you're like, oh, this doesn't work after all. So I'm hearing myself talk, and I'm really seeing a pattern for myself that I was just being reflected back also by one of my partners, who's really sitting in this place of emotional distress with me very compassionately, reflecting back to me my patterns. So dreamy, dream partnership really helps me. But the pattern I'm seeing is like, and I've been seeing it, but that doesn't mean it doesn't happen. Just because I'm aware of it doesn't mean I'm escaped from it. I'm just like, oh, here it is. I'm seeing it now as it's happening in real time. The pattern is idealizing how things will be, like how this little internet gadget was going to work, or like how this camping trip was going to work, how it's going to be so smooth and easeful once I just get to the woods. Nah, bitch. Like, this is when it gets real, actually. Yeah, so I idealize, and then as soon as like reality hits and I'm like, oh wait, things are not ideal and perfect, then I just like, from 0 to 100, I'm like, I need to get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm out, I'm done. It's like this flee response. I need to escape to the next thing. And so I'm already like feeling the anxiety today. This is the emotional breakdown of like, where the fuck do I go from here? Like, not just Lake Tahoe, that's short term, but I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Because Oakland, my chosen family is there, and I feel like I belong there socially. There's also gentrification, which is complicated, like I'm definitely participating in that. So when I'm talking about belonging there, it's more complicated than what meets the eye. But yeah, it feels like home in many ways. And then financially, like I just can't, I am not well balanced in my health because the finances thing is just so out of balance. It's like really bringing my whole health down. So I wonder, Amor, where is our next home? It's giving me so much goddamn anxiety. But what am I gonna do? I'm in the woods right now. We don't even have a battery, So like, why am I trying to figure out where we're trying to live right now? I'm like, are we going to Virginia? Are we going to Ohio? Do we go to Arizona? I have connections in all those places that seem like promising leads, but seeing myself even in this like little microcosm pattern of like, I bought this internet device and I thought it would work perfectly. And then I was so surprised and upset when it didn't. But I was like, baby, you didn't even give it a like chance. Like you just banked your whole trip on this thing working and you didn't even test it out. I'm not blaming myself for that because scarcity of resources, time being one of those. Yeah. So I just literally didn't have the time to prioritize that before the trip. It was just so much to get what I needed even before the trip and to offload what I didn't need. It was a lot. Big transition, moving out and going on a road trip. A long road trip, bike trip. So, hey, out of the street, please. Come this way. Thank you. Yes, thank you. So, yeah, it just makes sense. I'm just humbling my expectations back into reality, out of idealism, back into what is realistic. And realistically, no matter where I move from here, there will be pros and cons, and I'm always going to be missing something. I already miss my family back in the Bay, but also, I don't know, I just feel like that chapter is closed for me. It's just unsustainable financially to live there unless you participate in an unethical system, in my opinion. So, and when I say unethical system, I mean even a 40-hour work week. That's like a puritanical, masochistic, like productivity fetish. Like it's everybody's out of balance if they're working a 40-hour work week. Can't participate in that. So, yeah, I'm just trying to seek balance. What does balance look like to me? And to me, it looks like living in harmony with the land. So where I don't have to work a 40-hour week, but like we split the labor and we cooperate. Relying less on money altogether and letting the land feed me and nourish me, hydrate me, like I'm doing right now. I'm getting water from the creek and it's just like so magical, and I'm bathing in the creek. I'm in relationship with the water in this mountain right now and it feels so magical. I want more of that. Where is that? It's not in a city. I'm done with cities. That's clear to me. So I'm trying not to get too ahead of myself, but I am ready to live on the land with other queer and trans folks in a non-hierarchical way, in a way where we embody care and balance and love, where we don't compete for each other's affection. Because love is not scarce. So who else is out there in the world where they want to live as if love is not scarce? Because it's not, unless you believe it is, and then you will embody that belief. But I know it's not scarce, so who else is living a life of abundant love, huh? Who else? Show yourself. I'm coming to you. I'm open. I'm looking for a place. This would be a really good time for mushrooms. Yeah, the only thing about my current spot is like the shooting that happens in the peripheries, so that would not make good for a good mushroom trip, but definitely I feel one in the books, like coming up. Oh, Mo, you've been so patient all day. Thank you for waiting, little love. My little love. You're so patient, baby. Thank you. I'm gonna go home and unpack these groceries, and I have some cleaning to do. I'm disappointed. This morning I discovered that this egg carton that I was storing in my backpack cooler, oh man, everything was fine until, well, I was storing it vertically because that's the way it fits in the cooler, and then like the last two little like egg, holders, they turned into mush because they got wet in the bottom, and then raw egg spilled and cracked, and I gotta go clean that up. It's stinky, stinky eggs. So yeah, I got a mess waiting for me, and I got some tears to cry. I'm gonna do some journaling too. Oh, what a freaking trip. I'm just really like taking a moment to remind myself that I have created this life that I'm living. I am a co-author of my life. I'm not the victim to my circumstances. I chose to come on this trip. I knew there would be challenges. I'm facing them. And the reality is really hitting me pretty abruptly in the face that it's a lot of effort and it's not going to be as dreamy or flowy as I imagined it would be. So, just taking a moment to release what's out of my control and just to be present to my environment right now, because like there's so much abundance and the beauty around here. So much abundance. Time to go cry.